Welcome, guys. We're just about to get started here. Don't forget to share the stream with your friends, family, and your dog, and your cat. If you have other feline friends or toys, share it with them. Everybody can watch. And as you can see, the carnage has already gotten started. Welcome everybody to the Racing Sim Rings World Series Round 2 at Watkins, Glen. We are absolutely delighted to have you guys. As you can see, we have the cameras pointed at the car 64 of Van der Wesch. You'll actually be able to understand what car we're viewing at the moment because of a new addition that I have. Yes. I have to say my dog is the big advocate of sim racing. Civ racing? Sim racing. Hi you guys, how are you? As always, the man in the high castle of Craig King joins me to commentate on the shenanigans of Racing Sim Rings World Series. How are you, Craig?
Woof woof, woof woof, meow meow, oink, moo, and bah. I've just helped you then. I've just brought everybody together. That was all the feline friends and all the animals that everybody was here to come for. But I'll talk in human because I also speak human. Welcome to Watkins Glen, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great track, a great race we are looking ahead today with a few twists and turns going the hour-long Watkins Glen. And just to bring everybody up to speed, we are prepared. Yes, this is a series ready for lap 1 shenanigans.
One fast repair. One fast repair is all they get, and if they have the up the mountain S's crash, that you know, it can happen. Happens to the best of us. There will be a yellow flag thrown to get the field back up to strength. Hopefully, it won't happen a second time, but you know, it's all about getting them expectations set out early, you know.
Yeah, well, in some respect, having a single file restart then when the safety car comes out would probably be helpful, as it would be single. Well, because it's single file, of course. But that one fast repair there, just in case. You never know what can happen in racing, and we all know that cold tires are the bane of everybody. Been seeing it myself this week in some oval racing. So the cold tyres, everybody's going to struggle in those first few laps. It'll make qualifying really interesting, I've got to be honest. Just you know, you'll be going out in the pits in cold tyres. You'll be starting your hot lap, your first hot lap, on lukewarm tyres as well. So should be really interesting, especially because Watkins Glen is still that old that you have to do a full pace lap of the track.
I will be able to sort of massage them and give them a back rub while they go around, because it is quite it takes a while getting around here in the pace car as they go into qualifying. Qualifying is about to start,
so let's see who the first few cars out on the track will be. We'll be listening into race control, who decides not to say anything. Oh, here he goes.
Well, I don't have race control, all I have is silence.
I thought I'd listen to race control this week so I could hear the number of the drivers going, so he didn't mess up. So we shall see. As just saying.
As I was just saying, the series itself is sponsored. Who are bringing the racing home? Sorry, Racing Sim Rings bringing the racing home. They are sponsoring the series as a whole, and you know, they had we had our second interview at Spa last week, which was the first race of the series, we actually had the owner come and talk to us about his sim rigs, and he was very happy to provide support. Yeah, it was. I mean, a family-run business being able to provide, British-made parts, and it's always good to see homegrown business doing well.
Large number of cars being selected for the qualifying. So the first few cars that come out will be car number 2, that's James Goldstein. Car number 85, Adam Miles. Car number 22, Ben Smith. Car number 24, Josh Seymour. Car number 31, Taylor Lane. Car number 32, Matt Heatrick. Car number 49, Simon Dodd. Car number 7, Mark Bailey. Car number 19, Jack Hills. Car number 15, Chris Hamer. And car number 18, James Pierce. So all of them amateurs apart from Adam Miles. This is done by warm-up time, so slowest time in warm-up gets you out there first. Adam Miles and James Goldstein did not set a lap, so we'll be interested to see what happens in this first cluster of cars.
Looking for some solid room and go fast from... I read that as Theodore Toilet, not Theodore Toilet. I'm sorry for Theodore. I always broadcast my mistakes, so you don't have to.
Do you know, I actually that does look like Theodore Toilet. I am sorry as well. I probably would have made the same mistake. So we got Mongo Mango doing some cheering for Johnson. I'm pretty sure that is Anthony BT Johnson, or it could be Tom Johnson, or anybody else named Johnson.
It is a Johnson out there on the track right now. So I think we have an amateur, 3 amateurs, a pro, 3, 4. So it is
4 amateurs bar 1.
Bar 2. So the second one is Adam Miles, is a pro, and we also have Freddie Spinlow is just in the pits. Sorry, he's not actually setting a qualifying lap. So you were right.
I was going to say, I just counted them all down, but yeah, Simon Dodd now is the first car to set his time. So going up the S's right now into the back straight he goes. He will, when he comes out of here, this uphill section is the tricky section, in all due fairness, just on cold tyres, doing it well. He comes down the back straight into what I call the bus stop. The official name is the inner loop. Very tough, especially going right, left, and then right again. Down into the outer loop. You don't need to use a lot of brake here. Probably just coast the car a little bit, just because you've lost all that speed going through the inner loop. Down they go onto the boot section. So here we go. This is the chute he's hitting right now. Get as much or little curve as you want there, then try and hug not too much on the outside there. There's a dip. Down into the toe. Brake at the 100 there. The blind apex. You want to leave it late on the apex there, Simon. Probably just, he's okay. He's kicked it out. That's pretty good. Up now to the boot straight. There's no real name for it, apart from the boot, because the whole section's the boot. Going down into the hill, you break a little dust mark there between the 100 and the 150. Again, hit the apexes whenever you can. Up they go. No name for this one, but it's a tricky uphill corner. Wait. Hit the apex now. Now you're back onto the course after you've taken the boot there. Down onto this tricky little kink here, this left-hander. Sometimes you've got to lift, and he does lift for it here. Onto the final corner here. This is called the 90 because basically it is a 90-degree turn with a curve in it. I don't know why they call it the 90 then.
I love it. You have to hyperbole. It's a 90-degree turn and there's a curve in it. Are you saying the Americans can only drive in predefined corner amounts in degrees? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, the Americans, let's just get the joke out the way. The Americans can go, it's a right turn.
Are you confusing your left and rights again? They can only make left turns, damn it.
Exactly, there's the thing. Right, first laps have come forward at the moment. And it's James Pierce who is taking pole at the motorway, 47.598. Incidentally, Simon Dodd is P2 after we watched him with a 148.113. As my game just froze up, but everything's okay. Taylor Lane at 148.162. So pretty good benchmarks there. But we know that some of the guys, there was a couple of guys doing 145s in practice. 146, 147 would really be the times you're looking for. And there's Adam Miles, a 146.892 on pole as the first 10 cars have set their first lap.
You would make a good sat nav. Are you talking to me or Craig? Beep, boop, beep, beep, boop, beep.
At the end of the junction, turn right. Caution, 90-degree corner ahead.
3 lefts make a right, so clearly lefts are right. And
yeah, these aren't cars that can only turn one way. They can turn left and right. It's not like people. There have been people that's only had a car that can turn right, so it is doable. I don't know why, but we see them now finishing this first section. Now they'll be finishing their first laps right away. Simon Dodd will cross the line again. He was the first car. It's going to be a 47.746, so a good time there. Behind him now will be coming up. It looks like it's Ben Smith. Ben Smith goes a 48.154. Taylor Lane 47.704. Now they wait. Jack Hills with P6 with a 48.303 goes faster, 47.816. Who else behind him as well? James Goldstein will be coming up now. Goldstein, he does a 149.213. It is faster. As does Heat Trick, goes a bit faster with a 48.520. The leader's not there at the moment. Adam Miles, where's James Pearce? He's in the pits already. He's accepted that 47.487. Looks like Adam Miles is the last car on the track. He's coming up to the 90. He looks slow on my screen. I don't know if that's just the speed. Yep, he's pitting.
He's pitting. Well, I think he just took that first position W and just said, hopefully nobody's going to beat it. He did a 146.892. The only guy so far to do a 146 lap. And by the way, as a sat-nav, at the end of the road, turn a 90-degree right with a slight curve in it, and then you've reached your destination. Are those the directions for this track? You turn you turn right again, then left, then right, and then immediately do a 180, and you've arrived.
Oh, we've got our next cars on. We've got our next cars on track right now. 87, Chris Miles, amateur. 36, Isaac Barkley, amateur. 95, Harry Wills, amateur. 14, Andrew Miller, amateur. 12, Jack Wells, pro. Number 1, Anthony B.T. Johnson, pro. Not displayed, but it is pro. Number 60, Freddie Spinlow, also a pro. 91, Tom Johnson, the amateur. Number 25, Martin Pearson, another amateur. And number 82, Ingo Lapsian, another amateur. So I counted 3 pros in that list. Yes, I did. So 3 pros. So interesting to see what they do.
You're very professional with the amount of pros that you get. Get it? Professional.
Oh dear. Oh dear. It's a pun stream, is it? We're going to be delivering the puns. So, I mean, if we're doing the the puns, I mean,
the
Mality. If we're doing the pose, Mality. There's the formalities out the way.
God damn it.
I used that one a couple weeks ago and you never responded, so I had to get out again.
I think chat is doing a collective... Ow.
Not manatee. It's manatee.
Manatee. It's not manatee, it's manatee.
Yeah. It was Mality, not Manti, but yes, we do have 4 Manti racing cars.
Manatee. No, you're saying it wrong again. It's manatee.
Oh yeah, Manatee.
Oh dear. Oh dear. We're gonna get hate mail. You're gonna be the reason we get our first hate mail. Is Anthony Johnson in first place yet? Well, I think we're about to find out soon enough.
Yeah, I think they're just starting their first laps, aren't they? Chris Miles came across the line with a 59.428 behind him. Freddie Spinlow did a 201, as did Tom Johnson, another 201. So, of course, they're just warming up at the moment. So, where is Mr. Johnson? BT Johnson, as I'll call him, as there's 2 Johnsons today.
He's just coming up to the heel at the moment.
Yeah, he's up the hill, going up to, I don't really know what they call this. It's the uphill left hand, the uphill left, as opposed to the uphill right, which is the toe, and then to the last 2, the kink into the 90. This is his outlap, so it will not be a time on it. But very interesting. Well, there's actually 20 seconds between him and the next car, which is Chris Hamer.
By the way, Matsky is questioning how you're even saying words at the moment. He just wants to drive. But
yeah,
Anthony
I know.
BT feeling a little unstable. He's blinking at the moment. But we're gonna follow him around the course as he goes up through the S's onto the back straight. Now, we do have the inner. Why do they call it the inner loop? It's a bus stop.
I don't know, because they got the outer loop, haven't they? You go in, then you go out. I don't know, but they're both inside. Why call one inside and then one outside? They're both the same thing. You're going inside. The Americans are just confusing with their, it's not called a backstretch, it's called a back straight. It just confuses me.
He's got a nice helmet, though.
He has. I do like the Kraken livery. It's a very popular livery I've seen about. So. And
it's a very popular rum. I have one on my desk right now.
Isaac Barkley goes P2 with a 147.149. Can't see any other drivers. Ingo Lapsin goes into, he hasn't said his time yet, as BT keeps blinking. Not entirely sure.
Every time he blinks, my heart drops. He's the #1 car for the series at the moment. So let's see what kind of lap time he does. This is his first out lap.
Ingo Lapsin goes second with a 147.018, so still Miles on pole with a 46.892. BT now goes around the 90 onto the front stretch right now. The front stretch for me will always be a stretch for me. The stretch to get this line. What is he doing? A 47.333, enough for P4 at the moment. And there are some cars behind waiting to come by. Chris Hamer, one of them. Isaac Barkley, another. As Hamer now is coming up to the 90. He did a 47.688. That's 47.786. Sorry, I got the wrong times there. That was his qualifier. His practice lap was almost identical. What does he do here? It's an invalid lap. Isaac Barkley coming around the straight now. He does a 47.033, so keeps him in P3 by 200ths of a second. Almost 100th of a second, really. That's a close one.
Go BT Johnson. I keep seeing the BT as in, like, is he British Telecom?
And Harry Wills. Sorry, Harry Wills goes pro. Harry Wills doesn't go pro. He goes pole, not pro. He's beaten a pro. A 146.390. Freddie Spinlow goes into P5. A 147.289. So some good times there at the moment. Tom Johnson, has he just finished his time? Looks like it. Yes, he has. That was an invalid lap. So we're halfway through. Pole at the moment. Harry Wills with a 146.390. Ingo Lapsian on the front row with him, a 46.887. Adam Miles, a 146.892. They're the only three cars in the 147s, and we've got a few big names still to come.
Harry Wills going through the chute onto toe and heel. See, I do need to ask why after heel they just stopped naming the corners. Did they just get bored?
I actually do not know.
Because it goes heel, no name, no name, no name. Then this the pit straight, and then it's the 90.
I think it's due to the fact that corner is just to connect you back onto the old straight, the old track on Watkins. Because remember, Watkins Glen is one of those tracks where they just added a bit just for extra racing. They don't even race the boot here when you come to stock car racing. So that could be the reason.
Yeah, but it's also stock car racing. I'm not sure if the boat can get around such tricky corners such as the 90.
I would love to see them go around the 90, I've got to be honest. Not the 90, sorry, the boot. I'd love to see a NASCAR just go down the boot, struggle going up the hill at the heel, and then, like, the toe, sorry, and then just struggle at the hill and try and go up to that connector and just be like, where's the junction? Where's the apex? This isn't an oval. What's going on?
By the way, Harry Wills set the fastest lap off the track at the moment with a 146.182. He's extended his lead amongst the others by I think it was 2 or 3 tenths of a second. So he's now 7 tenths of a second ahead of everybody else. And Adam Miles and Ingo Lapsian are separated by 4 thousandths of a second. That's pretty hard to say. And as I say that, the mob of manatee cars, you just see them come out. They're about to start their laps. They're about to assert dominance.
Yeah, let's go down the cars that are out here at the moment. So, 57, Sebastian Rain, amateur. 88, Marius Janke, amateur. 99, Stefan Kurtzman, amateur. Number 16, Neil Butler, amateur. 47, Niels Backard, pro. 59, Ollie Behrman, pro. Number 6, Harry Woodhead, pro. Number 5, Jonas Dreyer, amateur. 21, Marcus Sunderman.
I still haven't forgiven Harry, by the way. He got my hopes up. I thought he was an amateur beating all the pros in fashion and in style. Nope, he was a pro all along, and it broke my heart. I still haven't forgiven him.
Yeah, we still got 3 more cars as well. 21, Mark Sonderman, pro. 56, Liam McNinch, not McNish like we did last week, pro. And 96, Christian Furtz is amateur. And those are the massive gaggle that are out on the track right now.
It's worth pointing out, by the way, that I think 2 or 3 of these cars that are on track right now are big boys. They're the big boy manatee, not manatee, not whatever other crazy thing you were saying. It's manatee. So there's 2 or 3 of them out at the moment. I think Matsky is not part of that group, unless I am wrong.
No, he will be the last car out on the track. Put it like this: we have our fastest amateur, 96, the fastest in practice, Christian Furtz. So a lot of amateurs here, a lot of pros. Sorry, a few amateurs. It's the reverse really of that last session we had, where we had all the amateurs and a couple pros. So Marius Janke will be the first car to set a time here, followed by Ollie Behrman and Harry Woodhead. So it will be interesting to see. Janke did some good times last week, I believe. But Harry Woodhead will be the first car we've got to look at for, like, what will be the time to look for, I feel. Probably as well Mark Sonderman as well. So these are the guys that really you look for. And if they're hitting 45s, that's when everyone's got to hit.
Well, the cars that have qualified so far, so we've got 24 cars that have posted a time at the moment. Only really 3 of them are in the 46s. Harry Wills is the closest to go to a 45. So I'm just waiting to see what happened, like what happened as well last week, where you just had 2 pros just shooting at each other, going, "Hey, I've got a time. What do you think of that? That time is cute. What about this time? Oh, I've beaten it by a few tenths of a second. What do you think of that? That's also cute."
Oh, and then Tim Matsuke goes, "Oh, Harry, hang on. You guys are battling. Oh, I'm just going to go ahead of you. Don't worry."
Yeah.
So we've got a response, 2 responses. Harry wasn't a pro all along. He got promoted to pro after the press day, and it's called the inner loop due to the fact it's on the infield of the original track, which just went straight to the outer loop, which was called the loop before they made the inner loop. Okay.
But it's a bus stop.
Right, Ollie Behrman will be the first car to set a lap, or does he? No, he does. Yes, he does. A 46.680. Harry Woodhead responds with a 47.709. So Ollie goes into P2 with that. Wait for the next cars to come up behind them, and it's been Neil Butler. He will take the next time, a 47.153. Now we come into Sebastian Ryan. What has Sebastian got for us? I think it's a 146.819. Sorry, it's a 47.365. Looking at the wrong things again. Stefan Kurtzman, he hits the 47.967. Liam McNinch, he goes into P2 with a 46.575. And Neil Backard goes into P4 with a 46.682. And these times still changing. We see Christian Furtz now crossing the line, and what did he set? A 46.962. So the top 10 now is practically in the 46s. You have to be on your game now.
Just on board, or pointing the cameras at Marius Jank. It's a beautiful car. Tim Matsk just being like, "Oh, it's a beautiful car." Don't worry, it's a Manitou car. It's entirely coincidental, but it is a nice green. I call it the green demon because it's got like a nice persculant, green tint to it. I really like it.
It's a nice color scheme, isn't it?
It is indeed, and it's a mean green machine. Thank you, Gijai. It is a mean green machine. Let's see what time he puts. He was doing a 147.580 before. Let's see if he improves on that. He goes 13th with a 147.286, so he's improved it by about 7/10 of a second. And he has completed his 2 laps.
Ollie Beerman's just gone second again, a 46.453. So we're now looking to see what the guys like Butler are doing. Butler cannot respond. Sebastian Ryan can respond though with a 46.476. Still not enough to get him past P2. McNinch, he also stays P5, but that looks like who's just sprung up to P2 now? Christian Furtz has gone pole, Christian Furtz has gone pole with the first time in the 45s, a 145.919. Nils Backage does a 146.100, and now Mark Sonderman does a 46.181. So those second laps by some of these drivers really changed everything. We finally have the time in the 145s.
Won by an amateur, nonetheless, 96 of Christian Furtz. And the E in the end of Janky is stressed. So the top tips from Tim Matsky.
Janke. Okay. Oh, Jank. Okay.
Also, who's in the? I just see it on the left here. I need to. I need to show this.
Okay. What are we showing?
Look at the left of what I'm about to show. Can I get it? No, there were some dudes in like polka dot underpants. I think somebody has to pick
Oh, right. So there's no surprise what the final selection is. The final cars will be every car onto track. It will be, where we got now, number 54, Louis Eggleston, who's a pro. Number 17, Archie Forsyth, a pro. Pascal Radshaw, actually these are all pros, I don't need to say pro. Pascal Radshaw, the number 77. Number 33, Jonathan Hoggard. Number 11, Malt Stump. Number 69, Oscar Copper. Number 64, Van der Wedge. Number 10, Tristan Iglesias. Number 13, Linus Technow. And number 8, Tim Matske. And I just want to say, in practice, Technow was a 10th of a second behind Matske, so it's not going to be all plain sailing for the number 8 today.
I'm sailing away. And as you can see, the car of number 17, Archie Forsyth, sailing away in the outer loop. I really wanted to change that together. But a quote from Demps, by the way, a lap record for GTD in the IMSA series around here, which was close to these GT3 cars, is a 145.449. So we're looking to see if anybody can beat that. And if I was a betting man, which I am, I think Tim Matske might just smash it.
So I just realised they're going slowly through this. They're not releasing everybody in one turn, so it looks like Eggleston. Oh, and his outlap, he just had to hold up there because Jonathan Hoggard was coming out the pits. Nothing too serious, but Eggleston, or Eggy as I like to call him because of the egg on the top of his car. I do like that, that's really good. He would be the first out of these to set a time. Archie Forsyth as well. He's coming around. Yes, he's actually setting his first lap by the looks of it. Archie Forsyth, no, that's lap 0. Ignore me. Now he sets his first lap. It's weird when you look at your relative and it says it gets sort of out, saying it's their out lap before they get to the last corner. It just makes me look like, oh, they're setting a time, but nope, they're not. So
are you trusting Caps again?
My lawyer says I don't have to answer that question.
You have a lawyer?
Yeah, don't you?
No.
Okay, but I tell you what you do have. You have beautiful camera provided by us by trackcams22.com, which you can see. You can get these. They've been given to us for the series and all our broadcasts. So they are fantastic. We got those great shots of the pit lane and some of these good shots you're seeing right now on the cameras right here as you see the cars coming out of the booth back onto the main track. They are fantastic, and I have to like stop looking at my screen every now and then and look at the stream just to see these cameras because I'm a bit jealous.
Yes. But yeah, you are right. Track Cams for Gourmet very kindly allowed us to broadcast the cameras. If you want to get your own copy of these cameras, you can go to the link in the description, trackcams22.com. As Niels Bocage set a 1:46.101, so he just slotted himself neatly into second place. As Jonathan Hoggard, I think, is about to do his first flying lap going up through the S's right now, chasing down the car of Egertson, who put himself into 13th place with a 1:46.922.
I'm just seeing who else is on their first lap. It's Archie Forsyth is on his first lap. He is on crossing the line now. It's a 1:45.921. It's the exact same time, minus a second, than Louis Eggerson, which is kind of cool. But that puts him into P2, and another time there. He is P2 by 0.02 of a second. That's gotta hurt. But he'll be on the front row if it stays this way. So we'll wait to see that. Who else is where? Malt Stumpf did a 1:55, so that must be his warm-up lap. Hoggard is now coming down. Radshawn is the next car to look at as he comes across the line for his first lap. It's going to be a 1:46.721. That's 11th place at the moment.
Oscar Coper just coming around. Two no-names. Making his first quali lap. Let's see what he does. I'm just waiting now, just waiting with anticipation. He does just cross the line. He sets himself into 37th place with a 1:58.445. So not
4:55.
4:55, sorry. But he's not set himself into a good start. I think he was just trying to warm up the tires for that first lap. But he's definitely charging now as he goes up through the S's. There's another entry. Louis Egertson goes 4th position with a 1:46.154, so he's closed the gap considerably to Archie Forsyth, who there was a second difference between the two of them, as he said before. Now there's only 2/10, or less than 2/10 really, between the two of them, and he starts on the second row.
That
Look at that. Coper's flashing us. He knows he's on the street.
Forsyth is now crossing the line. He was 2,000th behind. It's still not good enough. It's a 46.087. His first lap will be his best lap. 2,000th of a second short of Christian Furtz there. So we also now see Van der Wedge is also out onto the field, onto the racetrack, as is Linus Tech now. Tristan Iglesias is also, he's about to start his first lap. Radshawn will be the next car we are looking at as he comes around the two no-names and then the 90 degree. Or the 90, sorry, they don't even know what degrees are in America. He hits the wall! That's why game freezes again.
I think what your game is saying to you is no. Oh, and I can hear the car hitting the wall. It's confirmed death by proxy because I could only hear the carnage. I just want to see what Oscar Coper posts as a lap time.
Oh, Malt Stumpf. Malt Stumpf goes pole, by the way. Malt Stumpf goes pole for 1:45.502.
Oscar Coper goes into, I think that is P10 with a 1:46.513. So the last of the qualifiers are setting their laps now.
Matsuke is still yet to take the grid. Oh, actually, if I hit live, it might help.
Yeah, if you hit live, he is on the track. You're making the same mistake I made many times.
Yeah, so we've got Simon Marshall. Simon Marshall is out on the track as well. He's had some tech issues and only just managed to get around, so he will get a lap as well. Tristan Iglesias does not cross the line, sorry. He's at the heel. Linus Tech now. Where is he? He's finished his first. He is on his first lap as well. So all these four drivers have yet to set a lap as they're on their out laps. Iglesias will be the first one. He goes past one no-name corner. He goes past a second no-name corner. Hey kids, can you guess what's next? It's a named corner. It's the 90 again. Comes around onto the front straight. What will his time be as he comes across the line? That long straight here. I always forget about this long straight. He crosses. It is a 45.770. It's enough for P2 at the moment.
Malt Stumpf just bet the record that was set by a big old GTD. He has set a 145.263, setting himself on pole position. The number 11 car will lead the race to the S's if the order stays as it is.
Matsuke is about to start his first lap. What about Tech now? He is on his first lap. And I don't need to repeat myself. I don't want to sound like a broken record. So, we're coming up to the final corner now. Now, this is the Macca. This is the big gun. We haven't got a McLaren in the top 10 at the moment. Will we see a McLaren here from the Impulse Racing team into the front? Will it be the front? It is the front. It's a 45.313. It's not pole, but it's front row. He is 0.049 behind Malt Stumpf.
Well, that was a nice camera angle. Sorry, I was just gawking at the pass by of the MP412C as it goes back up the hill to complete a second flying lap and try and best the 145.313 it just set. Linus Tech now, an absolute weapon behind the car. He sees the green demon of Tim Matsky, sorry, Tim Matsky ahead of him, who is on his first flying lap at the moment. So Tim Matsky would have seen Linus Techna set a 313 and Malt Stumpf setting a 145.263, and will definitely be looking to try and get up there with the big boys, the big names, the big times, the big fast.
Well, I'll tell you who is trying to get up there. I don't know what the hell you're saying. I'll tell you who is trying to get up there. Tristan Iglesias goes one better and does a 45.455, so he's now into P3. Good time for him there. We're going to wait for Tim. We're looking for Matsuke as he is coming to the final two corners. Now we know what his pace is. I don't think we're going to see a 44, but this is going to be close as he did do a 45.212 in practice. Will he match his practice time on the first go? Comes around the 90. Goes straight in. There are players saying, send it, Tim. He crosses the line. It's a 49.290. It's P2 by 0.026 of a second.
But he has one more lap to do it. Let's see what Linus Techno does. Does he reply? He does not. He does not. He is in the pits. He wasn't able to best that time, so he finishes on a 145.313. He is out of the top row. He's in third place at the moment. By the way, Tristan Iglesias 145.456 and Van der Wege 145.584. So it's first through fifth is all pros at the moment. The fastest amateur is Christian Furs with a 145.919, which is pretty fast for an amateur. So he'll have a good hand up going into the race, because you'll also have the cars behind him, the 5 pros behind him in 7th through 11th. To, you know, they're not meant to race each other, the AMs and pros, but you know, it'll be a good buffer as he tries and try and keep a distance between first and second in amateur class. As Tim Maskey comes around heel, just coming past the boot section. Picture of Tim Matsky to prove he's real. Well, this is the best I can do. Ready? Go. And yeah, that's the best I can do. You can have a video footage of a helmeted version of Tim Matsky. Well, let's see what he does when he crosses the line.
That's not a picture of Tim Matsky. That's the helmet of Tim Matsky. We'll go straight across the line. Can he better his time? It's going to be tight. It's a 45.202. He does it by 0.061 of a second. But that was not easy for the guy who has really dominated the series in the press day and the first official race. So he will take the win in the pole position shootout, which you get nothing for. He will start pole. And really, when you look at it, the top 7 were inside the 45s. Were in, and actually everybody else really was in the 46s. When you look at it,
well, there was seven cars in the 45s, so that was a really good set of laps by those guys. So let's actually go over the results now. While they load up the session, we'll have plenty of time to be able to discuss it. So let's get started.
So we have talked about it, but we'll go back to it. Tim Matsgay, the pro driver, is pole with a 1:45.202. Malt Stumpf, another pro driver, is a 45.263. Will join him. Linus Tech now, a 1:45.313. Also pro, as is Tristan Iglesias, who takes P4, a 45.455. Vanderwedge, another pro, a 45.583 will take P5, and Christian Furtz will join him with a 45.919, who's actually an amateur. Archie Forsyth, the pro driver, 45.921 is 7th, and now we go into the 46s with Jonathan Hoggard, pro, a 46.006 into 8th, and Niels Backard, also pro, a 46.100 will take 9. Louis Eggleston, pro, a 46.153 will take 10th.
Down from 11th onwards, we have Mark Zonderman with a 1:46.182 in 11th. Harry Wills, I think he's the second amateur in class, doing a 1:46.182, a very good time. Ollie Behrman, a 1:46.453, that'll net him 13th position. Sebastian Rain, a 1:46.477 in 14th position, 3rd overall for amateurs. Oscar Coper, in the sturdy craft of Coperland, it is 1:46.513 for him. In 15th position, in 16th, it is Neil Butler with a 1:46.550. And we have Liam McLynch, not McLynch. It is a 1:46.576 for him. Jonas Draye with a 1:46.665. Pascal Radschun with a 1:46.722 in 19th position. Stefan Kurzman in 20th. Car number 99 did a 1:46.796. Ingo Lapshin, with a 1:46.888. Adam Miles with a 1:46.892, and that lets him 22nd position.
Yep, and then we move on to Isaac Barkley, who goes into 23rd with a 1:47.033. In the 24th is Andrew Miller, a 47.199. Marius Janke will take a 47.285, and Freddie Spindler, a pro, just shortly behind him with a 47.289. Anthony B.T. Johnson, his debut in the series, a 1:47.333, will take 27th. Martin Pearson, a 1:47.402, takes 28th. Jack Wells takes 29th with a 1:47.412. James Pearce will go into 30th with a 47.487. Taylor Lane will take a 47.705 for 31st. Just behind him is Harry Woodhead with a 47.709 into 32nd. And Tom Johnson will take 33rd with a 1:47.736.
Simon Dodd takes 34th. I was about to say 43rd. That doesn't exist. It's 34th with a 1:47.746. Josh Seymour in 35th position. The rest of these are kind of amateurs. 1:47.781. 36th position is Chris Hamer, 1:47.786. So only 5 thousandths of a second between 35th and 36th. Jack Hills, 1:47.816. In 37th position. In 38th is Mark Bailey with a 1:47.898. Chris Mills follows up behind with a 1:48.121. Ben Smith is in the top 40 with a 1:48.154. Matt Hedrick then begins to round off the course with a 1:48.521. James Goldstein with a 1:49.214, and Simon Marshall rounds off the grid that qualified with a 1:49.448 in the 73 car.
You know, when you said that, got your 34s and 41st mixed up, I was just thinking of that classic comedy scene. I think it was East 54, 4 for 55, or something like that from the 80s, which almost came true a couple of years ago. It's a good tongue twister if you want to get confused with your numbers. Very strong when you look at it, really. A very, very strong qualifying. A lot of people bunched up, just waiting for it to go official. There's 2 minutes left in quality. I think they're going to let it dry out. So T1 is going, we have talked about it, T1 is going to be the issue here. Now, you've driven Watkins, Glen, quite a bit like I have. How about we try and explain why the S's are probably worse than Monza?
I will say 2 words. iRacing highlights. Whenever Watkins Glen is raced, there's bound to be at least one big one, as NASCAR puts it, where it's you have a big crash, a big old crash, and it's not good when it happens because everybody behind them is essentially praying that they can brake fast enough, and that's about it.
If you've ever seen the GP, the Maku GP, and you see these incidents from it where everyone's just clumped into a corner, or even more, if you saw the incident in pit lane at Indianapolis for the NASCAR on Sunday, that is what you're going to get with these S's, because there is no runoff. You've got a wall to the right of you. You've got a very small patch of grass to the left of you if you're at the top, but it's all walled off as you're going up the hill. There is nowhere for you to go. So once there's a guy in the wall in front of you, you better hope that he is turned and flipped over someone's car, and that car is stopped on the right or on the left. Because if there is nowhere to go, that's it. And like Rob said, if you watch Twitch highlight videos when it comes to Watkins Glen, and hopefully, touch wood, we are not part of that for next week. That would be great if it was, though. Not. If it does happen, you will probably see multiple cameras from the same race. That's literally what happened, and it is just a case of, can you survive? And yes, there is only 5 manatees today because we have to have a funeral for one. Sorry, I'm welling up. Sorry, sorry, Rob. I can't. No, I miss it already. Rob, tell them. I'm gonna cry.
The Ford cursed V8 isn't racing today.
Why?
Oh.
Why? It's not fair. Why?
I tried keeping it in for so long. I knew exactly what you were talking about.
Oh dear. Yes, no. The only Ford in the field was unable to make the race today. Sorry, can't stop laughing. Sorry. Wow, we couldn't ship it from Spa back to America fast enough. Funds are running low. Don't forget the quarantine. You've got the quarantine as well. You've got to watch out for that. So, just be careful with the quarantine. You put a mask on the front of the Ford as well. You just got to be careful nowadays.
You can see the cars are lining up now. I also saw the Radeon TV car. Which car is that again?
Yes.
God damn it! I want to see that car. I want to oogle over its livery.
I must be honest. I have considered going. Can I have it for the time I ever, if never, race a GT3 race? I think I had some plans to do Spa this weekend, and they fell through. Quite rightly so, because you're gonna be crazy to do Spa. But I know it's here somewhere.
It'd be crazy to do Spa when you can do this.
I know. It'd be sacrilege. What's more fun? 24 hours of Spa or the 60 minutes of Watkins Glen? I know what I'd take.
By the way, the cars are lining up. They will be doing a full pace lap around the track. And as you can see, it's a lot of cars. There's a lot of horsepower here.
It's a lot of cars. I'm just trying to find a good camera angle for myself. This is going to be absolutely crazy. I do like... No, I forgot about this. Manatee with their different colours on the wing. I knew it was on the back of their cars. There was different colours. Also forgot the wing mirrors have the colours. So Matt's Gay running that hot purple. Is it a hot purple or a hot pink? I'm not sure. Someone's going to tell me that's a purple. I think it's more of a purple than a pink, but it looks very nice.
I found it. It's Christian Furs. Oh no, wait. It is Christian Furs. He is the Radeon TV car, and he is up on the grid in a highway.
Oh, yes! So does that mean that at the crash we'll see our name just flowing in the air?
If look, if it happens, I'll try and ease it in. But as we are the BBC in this case, we have to be partial and we have to laugh at it.
Oh, okay.
So we're essentially laughing at ourselves if it goes topsy-turvy.
Just a quick thing: there is overtaking on lap 1. For those who missed us at the start of the broadcast, 1 fast repair just for Watkins Glen. If there is a pile-up, if there is a big one at the S's, it will be a yellow flag and a safety car, so everybody can get back, everybody can get that fast repair, and everybody can continue on their way. And if there's a second accident, well, we go home, I down whatever drink's right next to me. It's not an alcoholic drink, and we just cry into a pillow.
Is there a prize pool for this series? Yes, there is. There is sim rigs up for grabs. There is also Elgato Stream Decks up for grabs. And all thankfully provided by Harry Wills, who owns the series, and the rigs themselves are provided by the Racing Sim Rig sponsor. They have the title sponsor and the sponsor. As you can see there on the top. What do you call that, by the way? On the top of the windshield, that sponsor spot.
Oh, that's the visor. It's a windscreen visor, isn't it? I'm not. God, now you've got me asked. I don't know. Thanks. I don't know. Windscreen banner. That's it. Windscreen banner. Thank you, Andy, in the YouTube chat. Actually, before we start, how is everybody doing in the Twitch chat? If anybody is in the Twitch chat.
They're mostly in the YouTube chat, but I mean the YouTube chat is just better because you got quality controls.
Anyway, Matsuke comes around the second no-name corner, the kink as I like to call it. He's coming down to the 90. Did you know it's a 90-degree corner? Did you actually know that? Oh, I don't know if you did.
Yes, I did.
Slows everybody up at the start here. We will go to 60 minutes at the green flag. Matsuke takes the lead. Tech now side by side with Stump there. It's going to be a bit of a side by side behind them as well. Into the first corner they go. Matsuke takes it. Tech now goes in for the send. He does get it. The car number 10 there going very wide. I see Glazer's going wide. We've got some spinners in the background. And now we go up the S's. And please, let's keep it clean.
Well, they've kept it clean so far.
They have not. We have got a car on its side. There is a car at the back, flipped over. Who is that? I need to see. The caution flag is out. Neil Butler is flipping. Now let's have a read. I want to have a look at what happened here. A car at the back got spun, and it is Neil Backarge. Neil Backarge goes side by side with Louis Eggleston there. Louis Eggleston just wasn't aware that Nils was just there.
There goes Butler flipping over end on end. So he needs that fast repair. Who went flying?
So just looking at that, we saw a couple spinners there with Eggleston as well. 2 cars in front of Butler gets into it. Sebastian Ryan does not leave Harry. I'm not sure what happened there. There was a bit of a misunderstanding. Sebastian Ryan gets spun by Harry Wills, and Harry Wills sends him flying. Neil Butler's behind, and then Harry basically loses control of the car, hits Butler, and Butler is just a passenger, and he is flying on the wings of love, fly baby high, and yes, that won Eurovision, but this role will not win him anything. It's bad. It's a bad one.
They didn't even get onto the S's. They died before.
Isaac Barkley also gets spun. He gets caught in the he's fine where he is, but right next to him is Stefan Kurtzman. Stefan Kurtzman needs to go right to avoid the cars moving. If he stayed left, he would have been fine. And I think that's what happened there as as Barkley was trying to do it as well. He was then going left, realizing what was going to happen. He tries going left, and they both collide. He goes for a spin, also collects. He hits Harry. He doesn't hit Harry Wills. He hits Sebastian Ryan again. Sebastian Ryan then goes around for another round, and there's a spinning manatee car that just backs into Harry Wills. I'm not sure who that was. That was Stefan Kurtzman still. So absolute chaos. They don't get to the S's, and they're already chaos.
Oh, it's like dominoes, and you could just see Butler having a bit of a spin. He's just flipping, been doing a bit of a spin, and there's a lot of carnage there.
I'm absolutely amazed that Butler's the only one that went flying. We saw so many spins, but only one car went flying.
Well, full course yellow, though. They are under the safety car, so let's see how many people.
Caution. Code 60. Code 60.
Are they racing again? Are they, or are they under?
No, they're still on the caution. Just trying to see if I can hear anything. No, they're all talking at the moment, trying to work it all out.
There was another hit somewhere. Somebody got rammed.
Oh dear. But it will be a single file restart. I'm not sure what to say, because I was there thinking, come on, don't have it through the S's, and it happens before the S's. It started basically with everyone trying to avoid the spin into turn 1, pretty much, I think. So yeah. Also, I got it wrong. The 90 is actually the first corner, not the last corner. So after Hill,
that's what I was trying to imply. That's what I was trying to imply. There's 3 no names, but you didn't get my implication. But this is the current situation of things. There is a full course yellow, and we just got race control. Information to pit lane. Full course yellow for multiple contacts at turn 1. Full course yellow for entire track. 2-3 laps. Cars are damaged, go to pit road for repair. Cars not involved, continue pacing around track.
Thank you, Eduardo. Eduardo Freitas there, giving us the latest with the race control. Always good to have him around for this series. Around for every series we do. It's fantastic. I don't know if they're going in yet. I think the cars are just like going in, getting their fast repairs. Neil Butler, by the looks of it, hasn't hit fast repair. That's awkward.
Wait, say again?
Neil Butler hasn't hit fast repair.
Oh no.
He's doing the pits.
Butler. Oh dear. Butler. No.
The Butler did it.
I wish I had sad music queued.
It's 2 to green, just to let people know it is 2 to green. So we've got time to fill.
Let's actually grab, let's see if we can try and grab our boy Butler and see what on earth happened there.
I actually do not know where he is. Do you think he'll be happy for an interview?
I can give him a back rub.
Are you going to contact him, or shall I contact him?
You contact him. You and your people contact him.
I shall just see if he is happy. He might not be, but we shall wait and see. Just to give an idea, a quick rundown of the positions, because there was some changes there after the first few corners. Matske is still in the lead. Tech now takes P2. Stumpf goes down to P3. Van der Wedge takes P4 with Iglesias into 5th. Hoggard makes 2 spots up there into 6th. Christian Furtz into 7th. Or down into 7th, sorry. As is Archie Forsyth, he's down into 8th. Sonderman makes 2 places up into P9. And Ollie Bierman takes P10. I
think Neil Butler just got a wave around because he's passing around. I think he has a wave around.
Oh, I think I know what happened. He would have towed to the pits, wouldn't he? He wouldn't have been able to drive that car, so he towed, and you still got a long way to go. So that's a shame. We learn. Everybody learns on the spot. No one's perfect. So
just like we learn with names on the spot.
It just would have been nice if he did the oval racing unwritten code and tell us if he was going around the outside. Caught a few people out there.
By the way, chat, how are you guys doing tonight? I know we haven't conversed with you that much. Well, we have conversed, but you know, we just want to see how you guys are doing. Do you like what you see so far? Do you like the new addition, by the way, of, you know, knowing exactly when we change the cameras to another car, who is in the car, what number they are? Do you like that? Yay or nay? Give us your thoughts.
I mean, very soon you're going to be like Formula 1 and you're going to have turn number in the corner, aren't you? No, don't do that. Don't do that.
You just given me a very good idea.
Oh, no. You're doing it. Okay. I didn't mean it.
I don't know if iRacing even supports it, but I'm tempted to see if it does.
I mean, the possibilities are endless with iRacing. You know, 1 minute you can be driving on a straight, the next day you could be flipped going up the S's. The possibilities are endless.
Andy Hitchens says, it is awesome apart from my Midland sim racing driver keeps dying each round. Oh, poor Neil. Poor Butler. He's doing his best.
Yeah, well, like Demp said, he's as good as the Butler in Tomb Raider. That's horrible. I'd say kick him while he's down, but he's flipped over. You're kicking a turtle that's flipped over there. That's horrible. There isn't a driver of the day vote. I pick it. That sounds really enforceful. No, you don't get a say. I get the say. No, we we work it out between the two of us. But no, there is no driver of the day vote. We ought to do that one day. That'd be interesting.
1 lap to green. Line up single file. The pit road is closed.
And if you're Matsuke, you'll be hearing.
Get ready, going green.
No, I was waiting for catch the pace car, but okay, whatever.
Catch the pace car.
It's a bit late now.
Well, I mean, it's the iRacing spotter, so he's a bit slow.
Ah, right, okay,
Ever since he got his voice remodeled, he, you know, the pop culture reference is that his wife left him, and he's gone all sad mode on us.
You just see all the updates in iRacing every patch, and it's like, spotter, we've made him a bit more cheerful. Catch the pace car. She left me again.
Again?
yeah, again.
That's a bit mean, isn't it?
Wow.
I drove to Asda today. It was a good drive. I should have been driver of the day, even though an old lady crossed the road. Demps, you're in the pool for driver of the day if you let an old lady cross the road. I appreciate that. But they are just coming around toe now, so they're about halfway done through the lap. And they're getting ready to go green again, because the lights are off on the pace car. It means it'll be coming in this lap.
Very nice that we've got a Porsche as the pace car, the only Porsche in this series. Hey-ho! There's no Porsche GT3, of course. There is, but the GT Cup. Would have been nice, Watkins Glen, we could have had a truck like every other place in America. That would have been nice, but just an idea, 49 minutes is the time remaining, as you can see on the top of the screen. So by the time they cross the line, we're almost looking about 48, maybe just 47 minutes remaining to the race. So we've lost a good chunk of time, actually, about 10 minutes more even to this safety car, as Matsuke starts to hold everybody up. And this is weird, seeing a restart on road racing.
Get ready, going green.
Going green indeed. And everybody, please cross your fingers, because hopefully there's going to be no more incidents as we come around. Tech now is really on that bumper of Matsuke right now.
Pace car is off. Green.
It is green indeed. Matsuke goes. There is a bit of 2x2 near the back, but it's looking pretty safe at the moment. 2x2 they go. That's Iglesias and Hoggard. Hoggard gets the move on Iglesias, caught him napping behind him as well. That looks like it's Sonderman, yes. Sonderman gets it. There's some 2x2 action at the back here. We're going to go up to the S's. Oh, someone in the wall just tapped it, but it's not going to be a big issue right here. Are they all making it out? They're doing it. There's 2x2 near at the top of the S's, but they're doing it. They've made it.
they've all made it this time around. I think the single file restart definitely did them well. We are on board with Jonathan Hoggard as he's going through the outer loop, chasing down Tristan Iglesias. He started in 8th position at the start of the race. He is now up to 6th, doing well for himself. He's being chased by Christian Furs of the lead amateur car. Oh, actually, he is indeed a lead amateur car. No issues at the moment. No drivers completely knocked out.
Oh, Van der Wedge did go up to P3 though, took the position from Alt Stump there. We'll just see the battle at the front. Looks like it's going to be a 2-car battle, maybe a 3 if Van der Wedge can get some horsepower in. But it's Matsuke half a second in front of Tech now. Now we know the pace of Tech now. I mean Matsuke, sorry. We haven't seen a lot of pace from Tech now. He's had a couple P2s and a P3, but he's never been able to get there early to pounce on Matsuke. He's always just been a little bit too late as they hit the sun going into the final corner. It's a 0.7 second lead from the restart from Matsuke on Tech now.
Ollie Behrman overtaking Archie Forsyth going into the second no-name corner of 3 past the heel. And in the background you can see Archie Forsyth battling it out with Liam McNinch going side by side up the S's at the moment. It is 2 positions in as many laps. If he does lose this, he's still side by side going up through the S's. No incidents there at the moment, but Liam McNinch does have the inside line going into the bus stop, or into the inner loop as they call it. Does he seal the deal? He does not. They're still side by side going through the S's, and now he relinquishes it.
That was a hard in your chest moment there. Forsyth looked like he was going to send it 2 by 2 through the entirety of the outer loop, of the inner loop there. So very good there. Now defending Sonderman as well at the back. That's Freddie Spinlow making a great move there on Jonas Dreyer, and actually also Copper gets through as well. So Dreyer losing 2 positions, now 3 positions. Is there something wrong with Dreyer? I'm not entirely sure. He's going to lose some more if he's not too careful. Around they go the toe, and he has got Pearson to the side of him, but he has got the inside line, Dreyer, so he might be able to hold up Pearson, but Pearson gets his nose in front. Side by side they go into the heel. Does still make it side by side. There is a car that went sideways there. That was Bradshaw. What happened there? He got tangled there by the 60. 60 just weaved out a bit too early. Don't think that was definitely not on purpose, of course. That was more just the car, just a bit of understeer there. I always forget understeer, sorry. But does hold it. Great save there from Bradshaw.
He was tapped on the rear end on the rear right hand side, but he very lucky that he was able to save that one.
We have a retirement. Or do we? Sebastian Ryan, sorry, they still got the they still do have their fast repairs, but Sebastian Ryan is in the pits and looking very, very sad at the moment.
There was an accident at the back.
Oh! Is that live or is that a replay?
This is now a replay.
Good golly. Wow.
Let's have a look. Tom Johnson hits the wall and coming. Gets a little bit of splash and off he goes.
Oh, that's a helicopter. John Elway, eat your heart out. That is a helicopter if I've ever seen one. Wow. Wow. And who's that car doing a nice nifty little spin? And that was nice to see.
I have no idea who it was.
Well, we'll get to the front of the track. We'll get to the front in a moment. Matsuke, a 46.3 with his last lap. He is now a 1.5 seconds ahead of Tech now. And Van der Wedge is actually catching Tech now. The gap is now 0.4 with Miles Stump behind him. So Tech now just unable to pull away right at the moment. Just keeping, well, he's not able to get in the slipstream. He's got the Wedge literally behind him, just keeping him under tabs here. There won't be a move here. There won't be a move when they come onto the front stretch. Maybe after going up the S's, he might make a move here, but Tech now needs to rely on that McLaren, sorry, to kind of like propel him away from this BMW.
By the way, Sean, I love you. That was He's in the Twitch chat, memeing it up with our boy Reskov. Shout out to the boys, Frozone crew.
Wow, that's brilliant. I mean, that was better than anything I've seen. That was better than the crash at the S's. They're still streaming after this man's lost his. Yep. We're bad enough to stream, but Tech now 0.2 of a gap now in behind him is the wedge with Stump as well. These guys are now in allowing their own little pocket of groups here, and you have to wonder. I don't think they're able to catch on to Matscape, but if the wedge gets past Tech now, do you think he could catch up to Matscape? It looks like he's got the pace for it.
I'm just showing a replay now of what happened to Mr. Miller. Let's see what indeed happened to him. He got past the ruckus and buckus of the cars that died just at shoot. Let's see what happened to him as he comes around. Oh, he gets slapped. Which car? I think that was the car in 17th place. I can't tell you what car that was. Which number car was that? I think it is the... Ooh, I need to see it as it goes past, but he got slammed coming out of the first no-name. And, yeah, he had to park the car. That's a lot of damage.
Oh, that's a shame after getting flipped as well. Already using his one restart, his one quick fix. It's interesting they come out this last corner and it's just the sun's in their eyes as I'm watching BT Johnson right now trying to catch on to Jonas Dreyer right here. Did have him going up the toe in the hill. Not at the moment is the gap right now. Just keep pushing. Maybe after the S's he might have a move on this Audi, this BT Johnson. He is catching as they go up. You hear the over revving of the Ferrari, which is really annoying when you're in spectator mode. Will have to make a move, BT Johnson. He will take the outside just there. He's getting in front now of the Audi. They might go 2x2, but Dreyer wisely slows down because Johnson is a pro driver. Doesn't want to make that fight.
Anthony BT Johnson, not affiliated. Oh, he blinked. But he is now up to 16th position. Started down in 27th overall, so he's made up 11 places since the start of this race. And he's chasing the back end of the lead pack of pro drivers at the moment. So far we have had... there's quite a number of people in the pits at the moment. Isaac Barkley was in the pits. Taylor Lane in the pits. Ben Smith, Neil Butler, Stefan Kurzman, Chris Miles, Louis Egerton, Josh Seymour, Chris Hamer, Niels Bocage is in the pits. He is in the pits.
Just watching this battle at the front here. Van der Wedge went for a move up the hill. Sorry, at the toe, sorry. I always get them confused. I don't know how. One to the front of the foot, one to the back of the foot. Getting a little bit tied up there. Almost had a move on Tech now. Could not do it. But every time Van der Wedge wants to make a move, he has to make sure it goes. Because if he doesn't, Stump's right behind him. And actually now catching Stump is Iglesias. There is a small train about to go here with the cars between 2nd and 6th. So that is Tech now, the Wedge, Stump, Iglesias and Hoggard are all now in their little thing. Hoggard's just at the tail of it, needs to catch on, but these four all going through. Look at that, it's synchronized racing right here. It's ballet on wheels as the four at the front there, all going around the corners. And is that the Wedge wanting to make a move? Still fighting, trying to go for the inside line there on Tech now. Does not make it work there because Tech now holds it off brilliantly. Now he's on the defense as the Wedge, or is he actually still on the attack? He wants to go for the attack. He can't go for the attack. He breaks a little bit later. Oh, he's messed it up there. Stump now wants to move. This is what we're saying. You make one mistake and you're on the back of everybody. Now Stump, because of that braking there and having to hold up, he's in a battle against Iglesias. But at the front of them, the Wedge makes the move onto the hill, sorry. He takes P2 from Tech now. Now what happens as well to Stump? Holds off Iglesias here. Tech now wants to go for it as well with the first no-name. Goes for an inside line. Very aggressive there. Cannot make it stick. So now we've got a new second place, but the rest of the field behind them is in the same order, and this is going to be one battle in these 4 different positions that we're going to have to keep an eye on.
The wedge is patient. He is now in second. You have chosen wisely if you betted on him. But we don't have betting here on YouTube, so. By the way, Christian Furs is still in 7th place. You can see him there in the background of the shots as the group of 2nd through 6th do a ballet dance back up the hill through the S's. Christian Furs is the lead amateur GT3 driver at the moment. And I'm hoping that he does stay there because he will be the iRacing, or well, sorry, not the iRacing, the Rally on TV champion. Well, not champion, because we don't have prizes ourselves, but he will be special in our hearts because it'll be that the Rally on TV car wins something instead of just, messing up like we do. Don't copy us. Do good. Do good things.
Mess up, do we? We don't mess up. Oh, Mouse Stunt wanting to make a move on Tech now. Thing is way in there in the oval there in the loop. Now they're going side by side down to the toe, and Tech now yields. And now he's going to be defending Hoggard. Hoggard gets all side by side. He does make the move on Ecclesias, almost getting touchy there. Now Hoggard having to defend. There's so many battles going on right now. We try to keep them all. Hoggard is now going to go side by side. Ecclesias wants that. He's on the outside. He's not going to make it stick. So Hoggard takes into P5. Stomp takes P3. Tech now into P4. And all this time, these guys are fighting. Matsuke's at the front with a little bottle of gin right next to him. Might be a chalice of gin. Just quietly sipping it while he does 146s.
I think Matsuke has like the best luck so far. Oh, we do have another car in the pits. Simon Marshall is in the pits.
Oh, Simon Marshall, what's happened to Simon Marshall? I don't know. Cannot tell you. Another car in front of him, which was James Goldstein as well. Got a really bad front bumper there. Bit of a sad situation there.
Oh, an accident going into the bus stop. Sorry to cut across you. Accident going into the inner loop with an Audi in 23rd position he was fighting with. And, ooh. He's towed. That car does not look in the best of shape.
Meanwhile, we see Oscar Copper. He's missed. The back of the car just spun out against him as he hit the 90. Loses the position, maybe 2. I'm not entirely sure. We'll lose the 2nd position here. He was 14th. He's going to be 16th unless he holds off the charge here from BT Johnson. And BT casually just decides to yield. Does not go for that position despite he was side by side. So Copper saves 1 position and he's on the back foot for a 2nd. Jonas Dreyer is now in the mix as well between those 3. That's for 15th, 16th and 17th. I don't think there's anything at the side. Actually, we see that's McNinch there as well into P8, overtaking Ollie Behrman. They're side by side after they exit the toe into the hill. Behrman had the faster car there with the better line. Still got a bit of a nose there, does McNinch. He's going to throw it in. He gets it. The over-under there is for Behrman. Would he make the move? There is nowhere to go. McNinch with good defending there. Holds on to that P8. It's action everywhere at the moment, but still, it's Matsuke, Van der Wedge, Stump, Tech now, Hoggard. That's your top 5.
Liam McNinch, who we called McNish, or what did we call him last week?
Yeah, McNish.
Very close to the wall as he was exiting onto the pit straight. Oh, we called him McNish. Well, I didn't call him McNish. I fixed myself after a while. I let you to it. But the 2 of them battling it now, Ollie Behrman and Liam McNinch going very wide on the 90. That is kind of the line, really, that you have to take to get, really fast lap times going up through the S's and carrying as much speed as possible. But it's a dicey operation to do it. You have to be very careful with how you do it. As Ollie Behrman tucks in behind, does not make the move this time around as they go through inner loop onto the outer and then onto chute. About 0.2 of a second separate the 2 of them now, and it's quite dangerous to follow another car, especially in these GT3. Sorry, excuse me. Especially with these GT3 classes, You know, through these corners, there's very little room for error. If you do start sliding, they are controllable now with the new tire model. You can actually regain control of the car. But at the very same time, once you start sliding, you need to be very careful and correct it instantly. Otherwise, your wall is the wall is your new friend, essentially.
Yeah, and it's a cold track today, especially with the sunset coming down. It's 26 Celsius, that's 78 Fahrenheit for you Americans. So it's a cold track, really, when you think about it at Watkins Glen. So it is going to also, well, if it was an oval, you'd be, for the Americans, a cold track, you'd be hampered with a lack of grip and a little bit loose on the car, you know, a little bit squirrely with lack of grip. But these cars should be sitting pretty solid at the moment with this. And the sun goes down as they hit the final corners. So not a lot of sunlight there to shine onto the track, which makes it even colder at those spots. But still, McNinch is pulling away from Bierman. They're behind them. I think there's another battle going on behind them. Yeah, Sonderman and Bradshaw in a little battle there. And little battles now. Everyone's in slipstream range. So looking really interesting as Stump is now catching the wedge as he goes up the hill. We got to keep this battle at the front as well, because they are trying their best to catch up to Matsuke, and the only car close enough to Matsuke that last lap was Stump in P3 with a 46.7. To give you an idea of Matsuke's pace, with a 46.6 again. In fact, you look at Matsuke's last laps, that's practice. You look at his last laps, 46.6, 47.0, 46.7, 46.4, 46.7, 46.2, 46.5, 46.2. I mean, they've been a little bit inconsistent recently, but they have literally been in a cluster there around the 46.6s and the 46.5s.
Van der Wedge still battling Mount Stumpf. The innocent German Z4 tucked in between two Manatee cars. Sorry, I was about to say Martini again. I'm going back to old ways. I keep calling them Martini for no apparent reason. It's just stuck in my head.
Does this mean Manatee's now going to change their livery to white with a blue stripe and some red? That'd be awesome.
If they do them, I'll give them each a hug. And I'll tell them I love them.
James Pierce in the pits. No idea what's happened to him. That could also be a pit stop, though, isn't it? Because they can't take a full tank around here.
It is not a pit stop. It is not a pit stop. He was chasing the car 49 going up the hill and the S's, and I think he was going to try and make a move. Ooh, a little bit clip of the grass. Still going, though. Hugged in behind the 49. Goes onto the outside. He was battling for 20. And what? He just stops. He just stops.
Oh. Okay. That was weird. So now Wedge and Stump are pulling away, and at the same time Wedge is pulling away from Stump. Wedge actually had the fastest time that lap, a 46.754 to Matsuke's 47.042, so don't call it a comeback yet, but with 29 minutes left in the race, everything to play for still, really, when you think about it. Even the lead, because if Van der Wedge can keep that time going and Matsuke can't get back into the low 46s, we could be looking at a chase here at the end of the race.
A 1:47.043 Tim Matsuke. 1:46.754 was Van der Wedge's time for the last lap. And as People Master said, he stops because he started seeing the Wedge winning. I think Wedge has got a nice personal fan.
Iglesias has had a moment at the 90. He's had a moment at the 90. The car spins around. He keeps it out of the barrier. Oh, did he actually touch it when he does the spin? A light little touch, but no damage there. He's now P10th. He was running P6. Lost a few spots there, actually, but keeps the car out of the wall. And, well, he probably flat spotted the tyres if there was any flat spotting in iRacing, but there isn't. But he will have to keep an eye on that. But losing all that time, Iglesias with the it just looked like the car just lost it. The back just went.
Van der Wedge deserves to run an F1 seat, not Fernando. Do you want to talk about that, by the way? Fernando Alonso, after all the drama, he is now back in F1 for 2021.
On one hand, I'm very excited to see Fernando back in F1. On the other hand, you know, let's have some juniors. I know Zhao needs the points for his super license. But there's a certain former champion as well that's looking for a seat next year. Surprised they couldn't get after him. I wonder who that could be. Hello, Jensen. Welcome back to F1. But no, it's good. You know, it'll bring the ratings, of course. I just feel that we just need to get a bit of youth back in. But as we're watching some proper youth right now. Maltstump and Van der Wedge going for this battle. Both of them were faster than Matsuke last lap. Now, I'm pretty sure they're not trying to work together, but they're working together nevertheless, as the gap between them is under half a second, but they're now 4 seconds behind Matsuke, as they took over half a second away from Matsuke last time, and Stump was the faster of the two with a
Pascal Radshon is off the track goes Pascal Radshon. He is off the track at toe, and there is quite a bit of damage on his car. Let's have a look and see what happened there. No, Freddie Spinlow just catches him, went for the move. Looks like he was late braking, trying to make the move, and it just didn't pay off as Radshon was already turning there. Bit of a racing incident there, unfortunately. A couple of others got caught into it. Sunderman's gone down as well. What's happened to Sunderman? He's lost a couple positions as well from that. I'm not sure how come. Oh, actually someone was braking at the same time. Oh, that was Oscar Copper there. Had to brake as well. Both of them had to go very slow around as well, but holds it off. So Spinlow takes P10. Radshon, I think, is he? Oh, sorry. Jack Wells was caught up in that incident as well. He was just down the road, and he saw the car number 70 coming back onto the track. I think that is the car 70 that we talked about before that was having trouble. And the car 22, or the car 22nd position was also having issues.
Tell you who is having issues. Matsuke is having issues. Matsuke is having issues. The gap was 4 seconds when they crossed the line. They came out of the loop, the two loops, and the gap was 3.5 seconds. The Wedge and Stump are literally chasing him. If this was road cycling, this would be a group trying to catch the breakaway rider, and it's working. Look at it. Van der Wedge can see Matsuke in front of him now. It's come to that stage where they get around the corner, and he can see Matsuke now. The gap is 3.6 seconds. Matsuke is not having a good time at the start of the track. But both of these cars, all three of these cars, are practically matching each other through the west.
Sorry, Justin Iglesias going boing as the car in 34th position. Oh, it's another section of carnage on the track. Oh dear.
Stump wants to make a move on the Wedge. Wants to make a move on the Wedge. Side by side they go, and it looks they're holding. The Wedge has a little bit of a moment. Stump's got the runoff there. They're going to be going side by side up the hill. Stump yields, and at the same time, they were 4 seconds behind Matsuke, and it's now 4.5. They are battling on their own. If they work together, they could battle for the lead. Stump has to think this, but at the same time, I'm not saying it's a team order thing. Maybe him fighting for P2 because he wants a Manatee 1-2 is also going to help his teammates. It's not on purpose. I'm just saying, if he fights for that teammate, it might help them. Did I make sense there?
I think you did.
I did.
I think you did. I was just letting you finish because I was just trying to figure out what you're going to end on, so I could slide in with the BBC lecture of we're being honest, we're being partial. It's actually Van der Wedge that's winning.
Oh, Van der Wedge goes a little bit wide, but holds on to it. Stump wants this position. Both of these guys are fast, do not get me wrong, but the more they do this, the more time they lose to Matsuke. And I thought the moment the Wedge got past Technow at the start of the restart, maybe that would have been the chance for them for someone to catch on to Matsuke, but it's just not happening at the moment.
No, it's really about trying to make do with the situation that's currently at hand, because there's quite a lot of cars that have not had the best of times as Chris Hamer comes into the pits.
Chris Hamer into the pits. Oh dear, how many cars do we have on the lead lap right now? 31. So we have, I can do maths, that's 12 cars that are no longer on the lead lap or have retired. So that's quite a high fatality, not a fatality rate. DNF rate, sorry. That's the wrong word to say. I apologise for that.
Well, he just comes into the pits. I'm not sure what happened to him. He just comes into the pits.
But I'm pretty sure they have to take... yeah, they have to take fuel at some stage.
Oh, sorry. Tom Johnson lost control coming out of the chute. Hits the wall on the outside, going towards tow, and he has towed the car.
Oh, that's another one. I'm glad you're picking these up. I'm so enthralled at this battle at the front. What else is happening? I gotta look at this. Well, BT Johnson is trying to fend off Pete 10 from Martin Pearson and Mark Sonderman, who are on their way there. The gap now, there's less than a second between the three of them, to be fair. There's an also battle in front of them, 16 seconds up the road between Forsyth and Bierman. I'm pretty sure these two have been battling since the start of the race. Bierman there trying his best, coming out of the toe, does get the better line, but Forsyth had that slipstream. Will he look to go into the inside to make a move? I think he's a bit too far back to make this move. If he makes this move, it's going to be... No, he will not make that move.
Liam,
and then
Liam, please don't murder the radio on TV car.
Oh no! No, I've just seen that. I was about to say, up in front was McNinch and the lead amateur, Christian Furtz. Well, if Barry Christian would just pull to one side, surely. He's an amateur driver. Right? Or is he going to do a rally on TV and just go absolutely to the wall and be like, we're going to do this? Does he represent us?
We're not that good. The representation of us would be, we get all the names wrong, we wouldn't know what corner it was, and we go backwards.
We go backwards? Oh, wow, I can't wait.
Well, I mean... if the lore is anything to go by, I called Blanchimont Radion, and that's a bit backwards, isn't it?
Yeah, you did call Blanchimont Radion. McNinch does have the move on to Furtz. This looks familiar. Radion TV going backwards.
Oh.
Wow, I've just self-deprecated ourselves. But Furtz, in all due fairness, Furtz with the same move there. He is an amateur. He is in the amateur class, not racing the pros. Does yield the position. It doesn't change McNinch's position overall in the race it does, but in his standing, he's still P6.
In his class, you mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, he is P6 in the pros. Currently chasing down Jonathan Hoggard. He is 6 seconds behind Hoggard, so it'll have to be some very good laps for the next 20 minutes to be able to catch the rear end of Hoggard. But the amateurs are no slouches either. Christian Furs, who is, of course, the lead amateur. He is currently, according to my calculations, he is currently 18.5 seconds ahead of the next amateur driver, and that is Martin Pearson. By the way, give a shout out to this man, the man in the cat. The man in the cat. The cat and the man. The cat in the car. Whatever acronym you want. Remember the Cat in the Hat book? I'm trying to make a joke about that. I can't, but he is the biggest gainer of today's race. He went from 28th overall on the grid. He's now 11th. He's gained 17 positions overall.
Yeah, also BT Johnson's made 17 up as well, but he is the pro driver, so I gotta be honest, if I'm gonna say who's the bigger gainer out of a pro and an amateur, well, the amateur for making 17, that's one hell of a move. Freddie Spinlow made up 13 places as well, so a good little showing there as well. Had that little incident as well, that accident earlier on made up a position, but he's going well as well. Yes. And the wedge, it's still here in second, battling Stump. The gap is 0.2 as they come around the chute, as it is, down into the toe. The gap is still there, but there's nowhere for Stump to go. He gets onto the bumper. It's like NASCAR style. Gets onto the bumper of the wedge. Nowhere else he can go there. He's given basically the push that he needs. A little toe from the bump draft in there, but nothing else there. Gap is now 4.7, and I'll be honest, the gap's not closing and the gap's not opening. They're pretty much even at the moment.
The last lap that Tim Matke did on the lap that's just about to end, he did a 1:46.958. Van der Wedge did a 1:46.777. So The gap is holding steady at the moment. The cat pounces as I just read the message. The cat pounces. The big digger thing pounces. So Van der Wedge did a 1:46.972. Tim Matzke did a 1:46.519. So the battle for P2 is definitely slowing Van der Wedge down. He has to defend away from Malte Stumpf. By the way, whenever you said the battle for Stumpf, it just sounds like you're saying stump, and it just sounds like he's fighting a tree.
I mean, let's be honest. That BMW, if it was a GTE BMW, he would be battling a tree because it would just stand there and do nothing. That's how big the M8 is. But this is the Z4. That's not a tree. It's a proper car, if you ask me. A former Nürburgring 24-hour winner, that car is. So doing very well. Stump is fighting, and let's be honest, how good would it be for Manatee if he could make it a 1-2? That would be great for the team, great for the organisation, I guess. They are a small little group, they're a great bunch of people. Does make a mistake in the shoot and is making up for it now. De Wedge can just breathe a little bit now. He can breathe. I think he's been worried. I think he has been worried. Stump has stumped himself there with that exit.
Seeing as he is the big green, the mean green machine, I would be afraid as well if that was in my mirrors constantly. And also putting himself in the contention for second place. The alone and frightened BMW Z4 trying to fend off the big mean green machine of the Audi R8 that is being driven currently by Malte Stumpf.
Now, in the top 10, we have 4 Audis and 4 Ferraris. The only other cars is the BMW from De Wedge and the McLaren from Tech Now.
You're about to say Mercedes, aren't you?
Hey, McLaren Mercedes was the thing. All right, I grew up with the McLaren Mercedes. It still confuses me. You know, the good old days of McLaren Mercedes, when their engine would constantly blow up or a tyre would go because F1 made stupid rules that you had to use the same tyre, and you know, I don't want to talk about that race.
What you've essentially done now is put a ticking time bomb on Linus's car. If his engine blows up within the next 15 minutes, I'm blaming you.
Hey, there is 15 minutes to go. De Wedge, after that great lap there where he was able to get a bit of breathing space between him and Stump, fires in a 46.688 and Matzke with a 46.965. So the gap's gone down to 4.7 and it's now 4.6. Stump is trying to catch, and he does. He takes an aggressive line into the toe, and we've seen it so many times. Does that compromise him here? Well, he's lost a little bit on the exit, but kept it all together. Sorry. Gap is now 4.5 between Matzke and De Wedge. I don't think there's enough time for him to catch, to be fair. I don't think so.
You can still see him. You can still see him on his HUD. If this was, in real life, if there was a HUD, you'd be seeing him on his HUD. He sees him as he is driving around. He sees him on the straights, most definitely. But he also sees in his rearview mirror a big green mean machine of a Manatee car, number 11, Malte Stumpf, trying to get past him. Now, Malte Stumpf has slipstream going down the straights, but he's sitting behind him. He doesn't. I think he is trying to go for, the last sort of hoorah and just overtake him on the last lap, so he doesn't get a chance to actually claw back the position over a lap, because in a straight line, the Z4 would definitely overtake him, especially with slipstream.
Oh, definitely. That Z4 is lethal around the corners as well. I'm just trying to look to see if there's any other battles at the front here. Well, we still got Hoggard trying to catch Tech Now, and he's been trying for the better half of this race, in all due fairness, as much as he can. Tech Now is, I wouldn't say he's struggling with the McLaren. It's more, I don't think the track suits the McLaren. But doing the best he can with his ability, and he's driven that car so well. Lost a spot after the start, but doing the best he can. Was up to P2 at one stage, but is in a battle now with Hoggard. The gap is 0.5 of a second, about the same between Wedge and Stump. So doing what he can, but I just don't think he's got the exit speed to catch on to this McLaren. be as they keep going as well. Furtz as well. It's just holding on the back of McNinch, but should not be a battle there at the moment. We're seeing Hoggard still going as he can. Not able to catch up now as they come through the first no-namer into the second no-namer. It's the three Amigos, it's the third no-namer coming up in a minute, but the gap is 0.5. Got to keep an eye on this battle at the front here. The Wedge is now 0.4 seconds ahead of Mount Stump. It looks like he's losing time. What is the gap between him and Matsuke now? It's 5.1, a 46.746. Sounds like a good time there by the Wedge, but Matsuke fires in a 46.515. Nothing he can do. Anything Wedge can do, Matsuke can do better, and he is proving it right now.
By the way, can we have the three Amigos as the official corner designations for those three no-names? The three Amigos?
Three Amigos. I mean, would you like to get hold of Watkins, Glen on Twitter and ask them?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
I'll be down for that. Just be like, hey, Watkins, these three corner names have no names. Why don't you call them the three Amigos? And then you can call them Amigo 1, Amigo 2, and Amigo 3. Then everybody knows what
No, señor. Amigo 1, Amigo 2, Amigo 3. Okay?
I thought you just said Tourette's for a second. I was panicking a little bit, and it's just like...
Oh, Stump goes aggressive. Sorry, Stump goes aggressive again at the toe, and it's not paid off for him. At the back, Hoggard makes the move on Tech now. No idea when he got that to. Was that actually done through the toe? It was done through the toe. Tech now went wide. So now we're looking at this battle. Hoggard will not be able to catch up to these two. Gap is now over 5 seconds, almost 6 seconds between the Wedge and Matsuke. So Matsuke, he can see him. Well, he can't actually. That's a lap car of Mark Bailey. He can see him when he comes through the straight, but there's nothing the Wedge can do. He can't look forward. He has to keep his eyes in his mirrors, because this is not going to be a pretty end if he makes a mistake.
Just replaying the overtake that Jonathan Hargard did on Linus Tech now. He was coming through the chute, dives to the inside of toe. A little bit late, but he definitely made the move very clear. The door was open. Linus Technan kind of left the door open for him to make the move. He pulled the trigger and he made it stick. Very nice and clean overtake from Jonathan Hoggart in the number 33, and it is his first debut. This is debut race, I think, isn't it?
Unsure. We'll have to check that in a minute. But anyway, Hoggard defending Tech now, and Tech now had a run at one stage going up the S's, but could not make it stick. He just had too much of a gap. So it will live to fight another day. We'll keep battling at the same time. Stump is catching the Wedge again. He always does this line. Look how aggressive he goes into the toe. Goes really aggressive through that apex. Cogs onto it really well. That is a really great line. But does he compromise himself on the exit? Is he trying to make the move, force the issue down the Wedge? He gained time through there, but lost time on the exit. But that is his saving grace if he can just hold on to that, because the Wedge does take the conventional line. Can he make a move? It could be a late move at the end of the race, but there is 9 minutes to go.
Just trying to see now. You can see Van der Wedge's gearbox. That's where the camera is at the moment. You can see the mean green machine, as Mulch Stump took a very wide line coming onto the start-finish straight. And I want to see this camera, especially when he goes through the corners, because it'd be an absolute doozy as they come up through the hill now. You can see the big big green machine, not the big red machine, the big green machine, threatening, always ominous, always looking.
Yeah, sorry, I just lost you for a moment there. Good old British internet. He's going to make a move right now, but he's going to have the outside line, sorry. The Wedge makes the move. Had to put a bit more brake on. The Wedge had to make that line and had to do that. Get a bit compromised though with that tight line there in the inner loop. I don't really know why you call it the inner loop. God damn it. Down into the outer loop they went around, into the chute. Gap is now 0.3. The Wedge has to make the defense here. The defensive move is on the Wedge because he knows Stumpf is going to be aggressive here. I don't think he'll be able to be this aggressive. He goes dive. He had to put more brake on. Stumpf had to make more brake on now. Does this help him? Does this help him? Then he had to take the conventional line. He's right on the bumper here of the wedge. The wedge might have to move to the inside line in a minute. He will not make the move here. In fact, Stumpf is losing time and losing the gap there, coming down into the hill. So really made it work there at the front start of the track. The boot did not help him this time. Trying to make it through Uno. Cannot make it through Uno. Can he make anything at DOS? No, he will set himself up at DOS and Threads to see if he can then make a move onto the front stretch and to the 90.
By the way, you can hear the... Ooh, he steps it just a little bit. And he's diving into the pits, I think, for a splash and dash.
Yeah, splash and dash. Matt's Gay as well at the same time. It's going to be an interesting thing here. Now, can Stumpf make a lead? Can he push and just make the better of this? Tech now also does not pit. So this will be interesting to see. Who else has not pitted? Ninch has not pitted. And that looks about it at the moment. What about Forsyth? I think Forsyth's only just going around the start-finish line. He's in the pits as well. So some cars decide to stay out. Some cars decided to go for it. But the gap between Stumpf and Tech now is 4 seconds. Those were the two cars that did not pit at the front of the track. We've got to keep an eye on where is Matt's Gay. Matt's Gay now is... He sat just behind Foots. So coming out to the bus stop now. Ninch will be coming... Is through there already. He did not pit. Keep an eye on the wedge, who is now up the S's. So that is the gap we're looking at right now. Stumpf is into, and look at this. He takes this fast line through the toe once again. He should be pitting this time round.
Should be. We have the cameras on Christian first in the Ready on TV car. Doing very well in fourth position at the moment. Nice and steady wins the race, as they said. Or, well, it's actually slow and steady, but he's not very slow. I think his last lap was... Please don't... I don't want to curse the car. Please don't.
I'm touching wood. I'm touching wood. I just need to see right now to Stumpf going to the pits this time around. 5 minutes to go. It's interesting. Yes, he is in the pits. Well, you need to keep an eye out there. Will Tech now go into the pits? Will he dart into the pits? No, he does not go into the pits. Don't tell me he's got fuel to last the whole race. That would be interesting. Right, Stumpf in the pits. He's about to go into this lane right. Oh, he's on the... Why have you gone... Oh, he's confused me there. He pulled into the grid slots way early. He's now in his pit box. Where is Matsuke? Matsuke goes by him. Not Mitnich, sorry. The wedge is who we're looking for now. The wedge overtakes now. And actually, yeah, Stumpf is not there. Stumpf just comes out. Actually, sorry. Stumpf comes out. I did not see that. The wedge is 3 seconds behind him. So Stumpf takes P2 provisionally if Tech now has the pit.
What a great pit stop by Mulch Stumpf to leapfrog the car number 64. As he comes up to the inner loop now, you can see in the background the car of Van der Wedge, and behind him is Jonathan Huggard, who, by the way, did pit for fuel very early on in the race that resumed. So it was about 50 minutes of a race overall, not including the issue at the start of the race that brought out a full course yellow and a safety car. So Van der Wedge is now under threat from Jonathan Hoggard at the moment.
Tech now. Let's be fit. Let's be serious here. There are 2 laps remaining. Also, Copper, the other McLaren, has not pitted. I don't know. I think they're the only McLarens in the race. Does he pit this time? It'll be interesting to see. It looks like he takes that narrow line. He's got 2 laps to go. Do the McLarens have the fuel to go all the way? This would be very interesting. I'm a little bit shocked, actually.
Harry, cars can go too much.
This would be a bit controversial, if you ask me. We'll wait and see. Ben Smith hasn't pitted, or has he? It doesn't show on my screen in the Ferrari. Anybody else who has not pitted? I cannot see it at the moment.
Oscar
Kurtzman
Coper and Linus Techner are the only ones that have not pitted.
Wow, and they are the only ones in the McLarens.
Yeah, indeed.
This could be interesting, but Stump. Okay, so Tech now leads. Stump second. Matsuke second. Stump third. He made that move. That's a big gap between Stump and the wedge in the pit stops. In all due fairness, does that a bit too much fuel taken by the wedge? I'm not entirely sure, but he was 0.4 of a second ahead of Stump. Pits early, comes out, and he's now 3 seconds behind Stump. So
he spent 4 extra seconds in the pit stall, in 10.8 compared to 6.3 of Malte Stumpf.
Wow, that is a big difference. Just seeing if there's any battles elsewhere down the field. Are we going to keep an eye on this Well, are we going to keep an eye on this fuel saving from the McLarens? Tech now is now coming through the Three Amigos as we branded them. Will come around. If he does not pit here, he's got enough fuel to go all the way, because he will see the white flag right now. He will see the white flag as he comes down. Barney should be waving the white flag, but he doesn't for some reason. He's a bit lazy. We'll wait and see. He will take the white flag now, definitely, with 1:35 left on the clock. This is your last lap of the race. It is 8:01 sim time, as he will now come with going fastest with a 46.807. That's his fastest lap of the race, not the fastest lap overall of the race. That belongs to Matsuke.
And as he goes on his victory lap, we have Taylor
Don't
Lane.
jinx it.
Well, I've already done so. We have Taylor Lane down in 17th position, battling Stefan Kurzman as the car 73 of Simon Marshall pulling off to the side to let the lead lap cars go by and continue their battle. They'll have one more lap after this. As they are on the lead lap, they'll be able to battle for just a little bit longer, as Taylor Lane looks to overtake Stefan Kurzman for 16th position. Taylor Lane started in 31st position overall and is up to 17th at the moment. Stefan Kurzman in the 99 car started in P20 and has fallen back 4 places. And there's a bit of damage on the front, and he goes for the pit. Oh!
Did he make it?
He almost didn't.
But that's interesting as well, because that was the battle for 5th place in the amateurs.
There's been a crash at the 90.
Oh no, that's Pearson. Oh no, that's Pearson. But coming around the final corner right now is Tech Now. Tech Now will take the win. It's a no fuel race there for Tech Now. Everybody needs the fuel. Tech Now will go and do the weaves to celebrate. A McLaren wins the race at Watkins Glen. It's Tech Now takes the win. We will see Matsuke coming around now, finishes into P2, with Stump slowly behind there taking P3. But he will wait till he comes now around to the final straight. He takes P3. Van der Wedge, what will he do? He now takes the P4. Hoggard will come and take P5. And then all eyes, as he comes around the final corner now, on the 96th of Christian Furtz, the Radeon TV car. You know, there are other broadcasters available with the BBC, but Radeon TV 96, Christian Furtz wins in the amateur division as well.
Yeah, we did it! We won something! We did it! We won something! We won something!
Brilliant there. You keep an eye on it. I will see if Linus is up for an interview. It would be great to see if we can get the winner in for a quick interview at the end of the race.
Absolutely. As, by the way, Ollie Behrman and Oscar Coper crossed the line in 8th and 9th position. We're starting to get the rest of the guys in now, but we do have one more battle going down the field. The 87 is battling the number 5. 87 of Chris Miles is battling Jonas Dreyer. Jonas Dreyer is looking to get into 18th position before the start-finish line. He probably won't.
Oh, hello! Oh, no! No! Oh, that's not... Oh, what's happened there? Did he run out of fuel? Dreyer knows that's an accident. Did he just... I think Miles was out of fuel.
I want to see that again. What on earth?
that he's out of fuel. I think he's out of fuel. Yeah, I think he's out of fuel.
He ran out of fuel coming onto the start-finish line. Oh, that is unlucky.
But I think now everybody has done it. Everybody has crossed the checkered flag. So we'll do a rundown. And I must admit, it looks very interesting seeing a board of pros, and there's a little yellow number just in the middle of them, but we'll go through the top 10. Well, the top everything, really, as Linus Tech now takes the win by 12 seconds. A no-stop race from the McLaren for Tech now there. Tim Matskey gets P2. Miles Stumpf gets P3. Van der Wedge, 4. Hoggard, 5. McNinch, 6th. And then the winning amateur driver, Christian Furtz, into 7th. Oscar Copper also does a no-stop race. He finishes P8 overall. That will be P7 for the pros. Ollie Bierman takes P9 overall. Archie Forsyth, 10th. Sonderman, 11th. BT Johnson, 12th. Taylor Lane is P2 for the amateurs in 13th. Iglesias, 14th. And Woodhead, 15th.
Neil Butler comes back from a crash, a legendary crash at the start of the race. I have never seen a man getting murdered that much and then come back to come third on the podium for the amateurs. He is in 16th position. Down in 17th is Ben Smith. In 18th is Dreyer. 19th, Pearson. 20th, Miles. 21st, Josh Seymour. 22nd is Ingo Lapsine. Down into 23rd then is Jack Hills. Stefan Kurzman was the first car to be is the last lapped car on the track. In 24th, Pascal Radschun is in 25th. Matt Heatrick in 26th. Mark Bailey in 27th. Andrew Miller in 28th. Chris Hamer in 29th. Simon Marshall, by the way, who had the accident at the start, he finished 30th. Down into 31st, Simon Dodd is the first car to be 2 laps down. Adam Miles, and we get to sort of the people who've had the big old death. We get into 32nd is Adam Miles, 7 laps down. Isaac Barkley, 8 laps down. Louis Eggertson, who we saw at the start of the race and then didn't see again. We now know why. He's down 8 laps. 35th is Freddie Spindlow, 9 laps down. Tom Johnson was 14 laps down. Jack Wells, 37th in 15 laps down. 38th was James Pierce, 17 laps down.
Yep, and then we've got Neil Backard, who was 22 laps down into 39th. Harry Wills, 25 laps down into 40th. 41st was Sebastian Rain, also 25 laps down. And 26 laps down, Marius Yankee and James Goldstein, who finished 42nd and 43rd respectively. And
I just looked at it. We've got like 10 people in the waiting room.
Have we indeed? Well, I'll tell you who we also have in the waiting room right now. We have the winner of the race who pulled off the no-stop race. It's Linus Tech now. Congratulations for the win.
Hey, thanks guys.
Were you shocked that everyone was pitting and you weren't? Because you don't see a lot of McLarens about, so it's weird. But was that just perfect with the safety car? I'm guessing the safety car helped you out there, allowing you to just save a bit of fuel.
Yeah, I kind of expected before the race that a safety car would make it close to possible to save enough fuel, because since the last patch you can easily do an hour again. So if this safety car was like 15 minutes, so I had to save, I think, 2.5 laps of fuel overall.
Wow. So that would explain as well, because you at the start of the race you jumped into P2, and then we saw you go down the track a bit. So was that just you just getting as much slipstream and just saving fuel? I'm guessing at the end of that, because it was quite weird seeing you go down. I thought it was a bit interesting because you had the pace.
Yeah, about I think 1 lap after it went green again, I went 1 lap, fill it out, and then I realized that it's possible to save enough. I just didn't know if it's worth it. But I saw that it would have been really hard to beat Tim just on pace. because if I do a mistake and lose slipstream or anything like that, then I'm not gonna catch up again. So I kind of knew either I save enough and win the race that way, or I still have to pit and hope I get second. But yeah, it was risky when I started it, but worked out in the end. So
I mean, you weren't the only one as well, fuel saving. Oscar Copper also did a fuel saving as well. Again, both from McLaren. So I would you say that it's probably at its strongest point here. Now I'm not sure. McLaren's not exactly the strongest of cars around here, is it not? Because while you're the only two McLaren drivers, both of you were a little bit struggling with this pace there. We were looking. Your laps were, I think you averaged around the 47s, low 47s most of the race. So it's not its strongest track here. Is there a track you're looking forward to in the series?
I think a lot of the tracks coming up will be good for McLaren. Le Mans obviously is, I think it's second strongest car behind Mercedes. It's good at, it's probably by far the best at Monza, and it's pretty decent at all the tracks that are coming up, except for Nordschleife. It's terrible there, but all the other tracks.
That's Nordschleife combined. Yeah, no, that's Nordschleife combined because we're at Barcelona next week. 2 30-minute races at Barcelona. I mean, obviously, we're still just finishing the race and you're not looking ahead to it right away, but especially with it being 2 30 minutes, that'll be a reverse grid. Are you looking for just getting to the top 10 really in that race? Are you? Or are you trying to be battle? Well, of course, everyone's battling for the win. Everybody is, but are you looking to try and just maintain your points? Because I believe this may put you maybe first, if not second, in the standing. So, are you just looking for a conservative approach to Barcelona next week?
I'm not sure. It's going to be interesting with the reverse grid because it's super hard to pass at Barcelona. It's basically either you send it really hard or in turn 1 or turn 5, I think it is. So it won't be easy to pass there. So the reverse grid will be interesting. But I do like the reverse grid races. It's more interesting, in my opinion, than just flat out 90 minutes race.
Definitely, I mean, we saw it in the broadcast day, the press day. Sorry, how interesting it went there. I know it was Brands Hatch, but just seeing the cars that were at the front having to move back and then fight their way back was interesting to see. So I am looking forward to that myself. Rob, I've taken over this. Have you got anything to say, Rob?
No, I don't. That was a really good tactical drive done by you, Linus. And, as I said before, you've definitely got the pace on track, and it was just being able to save those 2.5 laps, as you said, that you needed to be able to go one full stint without needing to refuel. It definitely was a big decision to make, and to stick with it. Gambling on the fact that you might have to go into the pits if it all goes wrong. It didn't go wrong, judging by the fact that you're on the winner's sheet, really, on the winner's row. At any stage did you think this might not work? Halfway through your plan, did you think, I'm probably gonna have not a lot of fuel left, and I need to make a pit stop, or look at making a pit stop now to save face?
Yeah, I was a bit scared if Tim pits coming to lap 31. So if he pits end of lap 30, he doesn't have to save that much, but he, with his pace, makes it 32 laps. So then I would have had to clutch it on the last lap, and he would have overtaken me again. So if he was able to make it 30 laps, because of the way the iRacing white flag works, it would have went 32 laps, and I wouldn't have made it, probably. So that was what I was scared of, but yeah, I knew I can make it 31 laps.
No, that's good as well, because he was hitting a lot of 46s, and I think there was only about a handful of laps that he was doing in the 47s. Even when he was low on fuel, he was still hitting those 46s. So it paid off for you. I think if he just didn't have those handful of 47s, you may have had to go another lap. But I think Caps for me was reading 31.3, so I think you would have been okay. But it was nail biting. at the end there, especially for fuel saving. But it just proves that, you know, it can be done, and it's not just an oval thing. It can be done in road racing. We're seeing on the stream as well the beautiful slow motion in the cockpit there of the McLaren. Always one of my favorite racing wheels, the McLaren. Never got a replica, I just like it. But I think that's it. If there's anything else you'd like to say, Linus, I think that's it, apart from congratulations.
Oh, that's it. Thanks, guys.
Well, thank you very much,
Broadcast,
Linus.
and thanks to the guys that are organizing the league. It's been a lot of fun so far.
Well, thank you very much, and we will see you again next week in Barcelona. So all the best.
Yep, see you.
Well, Craig, what an absolute banger to end up on. Do you know what we're going to do, though? We're going to raid.
What are we going to do?
We're going to raid the waiting room. We're going to see, see what the guys can cheer to end off the stream. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
I'm on the start finish.
The boys, what do you want to say for the stream? Shout us out.
This is TV. You are live on TV. Please do not swear.
I nearly sweat, like no joke.
Big
I
muscles.
was so close.
Big muscles. Is that what
I'll just throw it in here, McLaren OP.
McLaren OP? Anybody else got anything?
I wonder who said that.
Anybody else got anything?
I mean, I'm pretty sure you only mentioned me. If you mentioned me, I'm pretty sure you would have only mentioned me for crashing, so thank you for that.
I like how you guys were confused at what I was doing. It was called a rage quit on the backstretch. Because like, oh, is he having a mechanical issue? No.
Just pull off to one side, you know.
Just pulled off at the bus stop and went Alt F4.
Well, I hope you guys got some pronunciations right.
Oh,
Yeah, of course we have.
We did it.
Forsyth. No.
Yeah, Forsyth.
We've got you right, don't worry. We've got you right, don't worry. No, everybody was there. We've got everybody. It was a great race. Come on, hands up. Who was in the accident on the first corner? Come on, hand up.
I got absolutely sent from the rear. I tried to avoid it and got absolutely sent into it.
I avoided a net-coded nils, apparently, I think.
It was
But I
part
got
of the
no
thing that
damage.
started the lap 1 incident, so...
Yeah,
I might have bumped Jack in front of me, maybe slightly under braking, but I managed to get through fairly clean and make up a load of places, so I was pretty happy with it.
It would have been nice if Neil was here just to see what happened, just to see how he feels. He said he was dizzy. He says in YouTube chat that he was dizzy. Yeah, I mean, he's the only car in that whole crash that flipped and was on his roof, so... There was another car that did a helicopter. I can't remember who that was, but somebody did a helicopter.
Thomas. It was Tom Johnson.
That was it.
He
Tom
got
Johnson.
He got hit out of the second corkscrew and just did a helicopter 50 feet in the air.
I also went up as a helicopter like 5 to 7 laps before the end. It's quite sad.
Oh, I'm sure we all got it, didn't we, Rob?
Yeah, I'm
Just
trying
nod.
to see. I'm trying to see if I can get the crash on the replay.
Okay,
Oh,
guys.
yeah.
I need to go, but can I just say something in my language first before I go?
Yeah, go for it.
Go for it.
It's in the cameraman, je weet toch?
Bye.
Alright, someone has
That
to
was
translate
worth it.
that and see what the hell he just said.
I know what he said, I think.
Probably don't want to translate.
Probably don't want to translate it. Yeah.
Well, thank you everybody once again for a fun evening. Watkins Glen always brings fun. So, Rob, have you got anything else to say to these guys while you're trying to find some accidents?
I just want to thank you guys for the great race. You know, it was entertaining once again, even after the initial incident that you're seeing on the replay right now. You're seeing the accident unfold in slow motion. You know, we're the slow-mo guys right now, and you can see.
You can never be as good as Gavin, I'm sorry.
And all due fairness, 1 second, let me just get someone, because we have the person right here who was in that first accident. Hello, Neil Butler.
How's it going?
How do you feel after flipping? That's all I can ask.
I was a bit giddy. I needed a sick bag.
Are you on VR? Are you on VR?
No, luckily I wasn't in VR.
I
Otherwise
was-
I'd been in trouble.
Of course, you had to tow, didn't you? Because
Yeah.
we wondered at once. I think we sent the interview request when you were in the pits. We thought, oh, he's parked it. Then I realised you towed and you had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
It was an interesting race. I know it wasn't at the front, but I'm pretty sure you had some good times at the back there once you got recovered. made a few places up as well.
Yep.
Would you do that experience again? Would you advise somebody to go and get flipped by a car in an accident going through the first corner of Watkins Glen?
I mean, yeah, it had to be the organizer as well. So, of course, but no, it was a good race. Made it more interesting, fighting back through the pack, and got third. So happy with that.
Yeah, no, a great result for you actually in the amateurs. So really good to see. We tried to get a lot of the battles with the amateurs as well. We don't have Christian Furtz here, unfortunately. Yes, we do. Sorry, Christian Furtz is here. Sorry, I do apologise. The winning amateur as well. So we've got representatives from everybody. So it's great to see everybody. And hopefully next week, Barcelona, two 30-minute races. We shouldn't see that much chaos. We'll have some runoffs. Everybody will behave, won't you? Everybody nod your heads and say yes. Yes, everybody on TV.
The wrong answer, Taylor.
Oh dear.
It's the only answer. It's Barcelona.
Oh no.
Well, I think that's a great way to end off the stream. So what do you say, guys, to the stream?
Thank you very much. And, game show wave. Can't see it.
Yeah. Today on the show.
Let's get it.
Seriously.
I think we'll end it there. So I'll go ahead and finish this, guys, and we'll see you guys next week. Thanks again, guys, for joining us. Appreciate everything, all the support. Enjoy the rest of your week, or the rest of your week, guys. We'll see you again next Wednesday. We'll see you Friday as well, and Sunday. Friday for the RMS series, and Sunday for the Fanatec GT Challenge. So join us then, and until then, take care.